The Nigerian Senate has expressed serious concern over political motivated violence in Kogi State, saying it has assumed disturbing dimension as well pose a serious threat to the country's democracy. Position of the cross-section of senators who expressed concern that the activities of Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello in muzzling the perceived political enemy in the state. A motion brought under the point of order on the floor of the Red Chamber by Senator Ahmed Ogembe of Kogi Central set the tone for the deliberation on the matter. The senator who recounted how an empowerment program held for his constituent was overrun by a group of armed hoodlums allegedly sponsored by the state government.
Overnight, they went the caretaker chairman of Okehi by the name Abdurrahim Ohiare, and the caretaker chairman of Okene local government by the name Abdurazak Mohammed went on rampage with thugs, vigilante, heavily armed, with SARS of the Nigerian police at the state level, given to them by the OC SARS, and also a special vigilante group called Danga Security Group. They went on rampage, destroy everywhere, destroy every supporters of mine in that senatorial district. They went on, even the former House of Rep member, AK Saliu, house was also destroyed. As I speak to you now, Mr. President, my family house was destroyed as well. So, Mr. President, this is not Banana Republic. This is Nigeria. This is Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Cross-section of senators say the situation is unacceptable, that the Governor Yaya Bello must be put on check.
It is time we use Kogi State as an example, Mr. President. This chamber should not close our eyes to the dictatorial, draconian, satanic approach of governance by the governor of Kogi State. We must take the bull by the horn, not because I'm from Kogi. And Yaya Bello cannot shut me up. I will not keep quiet. He must pay salaries. He must use our money the way we want him to use it. Mr. President, we can call on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to declare a state of emergency in Kogi State.
Yesterday it was Dino Melaye. Today it's Ogembe. Maybe tomorrow it will be Aidoko. The same Kogi State. And of course, what does that tell us? Mr. President, people have been running around and saying we need youth. The man in Kogi is a youth. Why is it that this youth does not know what he's doing? And there is so much insecurity in this particular place. That does not give credence to anything that you're saying, hand over this country to youth.
The governor of Kogi State is a threat to our democracy. We have every reason to say so. And I think it is important that the party to which he belongs and the leadership of the party to which he belongs should caution this particular person and bring him to order. He is not representing us well as an ambassador of a party that have promised to entrench democracy, to which we are all committed.
Let us use Kogi State as a test case on how we can truly work with the federal government of Nigeria to bring peace to bear in Nigeria in order for us to save democracy come 2019. Because if people have to resort to self-help, it means that Nigeria will just be like Libya. Nigeria will be like Libya. There will be no leadership after 2019. That is my worry. Because the taxpayers' money is used to maintain the police, and the police cannot turn the guns on the people. Or when they are needed, they would say that they are not available. This is a shock to me, and I'm worried about the future, and I do hope that the decision from this Senate will serve as a test case.
On his part, the Deputy Senate President Ike Kemadu says the extent of the unfolding threat to the country's democracy could very well usher in the military into power.
So the problem in Nigeria here is that our democracy is receding. And the international community needs to know this. Who says that the army cannot take over in Nigeria? It is possible. Yes, it is possible. So let's not joke with our democracy. The way they are going. So that's the issue. So today, somebody's house, last few weeks, we are talking about the house of a senator was destroyed in Kaduna State. We are talking about how security people laid siege on Dino. We are talking about Kwankwaso, who was stopped from going to his state. A state he ruled for 8 years. He could not go to that state. We saw people carrying clubs waiting for him at the airport. In Kaduna, Sani cannot organize a meeting. And we say we are talking about a democracy. And somebody says this democracy will continue this way. It's not going to continue.
In his ruling on the motion, Senate President Bukola Saraki condemned in strong terms the action of Governor Yaya Bello, describing the Kogi situation as a negative depiction of Nigerian democracy.
Because this kind of action is totally unacceptable. It cannot be allowed to continue because, as we say, it just starts with one state. Some of us, as many of us here, have been privileged to be governors before. We have almost 20 years in democracy. This cannot be the democracy that we should be talking about after 20 years. And it's totally unacceptable. And we must make sure that we use this to address, as DSP said, that's how not only in Kogi, we saw the case in Kaduna State, how a governor can proudly say he's going to bulldoze a house in Nigeria at this time, and we're all still keeping quiet. These are things that we must condemn totally, so that they are not the kind of reflection people define as democracy about. So I think when we go to prayers, we must be able to define what those prayers are, as the chief whip has said, that will bring out immediate action to prevent this kind of.
The Senate, however, ruled that an ad hoc committee to set up to investigate the attack at the venue of the empowerment program organized by Senator Ogembe and the involvement of the police, and the committee is expected to submit its report in 2 weeks' time. From National Assembly Complex, Abuja, Muyiwa Bamdele reporting.
In an effort to ensure that no mass return to the northeast part of Nigeria, Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abdullahi Gana Mohammed, has relocated his office to the northeast following the directive of the Minister of Interior, Abdulrahman Dambazao, over the recent adoption of the Dapchi school girls in Yobe State, Nigeria. NSCDC, in a statement made available to Ben TV by its public relations officer, Emmanuel Oke, said the corps boss had immediately swung into action along with some of his management team, adding that they have moved to the troubled and turbulent states in the northeast to ensure proper deployment of corps personnel to school and other blank spots to curtail further occurrences of the incident. Over 100 girls of the Government Girls Science and Technical College, Damaturu, have been reported missing after Boko Haram jihadists attacked the school, report says. Ghana reassured NSCDC personnel of his administration's commitment to their welfare, and as such advised them to be resolute, committed, and not to compromise their oath of secrecy in discharging their service to the nation. He also charged the personnel to be involved in grassroots intelligence in order to be more proactive in the approach towards protecting the citizenry and national infrastructure rather than adopting the reactionary approach. A non-governmental organization under the auspices of Good Talk Development Initiative have called on President Muhammadu Buhari to, as a matter of priority, transmit all conferences reports in the country to the National Assembly to add to the current constitutional amendments. The group convener, Otto Ibe, at a press conference in Abuja, said it would be a fraud not to implement such reports after spending huge amounts of money to organize them, adding that government is a continuum.
It will be a fraud on Nigerians, considering all huge sums of money spent by government from the Commonwealth of the nation and taxpayers' money to organize conferences that borders on our common problems in order to solve them, and thereafter those reports are dumped without implementation. We appeal to government to walk the talk, because this is a bond of trust on Nigerians.
The group, while suggesting to government to rehabilitate its own refineries, said doing so will bring a lasting solution to fuel crisis as recently experienced by Nigerians.
We also use this medium to urge President Buhari to stop importation of petrol into the country if this government must have different results. This is the only way this government can change the system and defeat the oil cabal causing hardships to the citizens of the nation. But rather, Mr. President should, as a matter of urgency, rehabilitate our 4 refineries to function and give speed to establishment of modular refineries, which with easy requirements for most Nigerians to venture into it. This is the solution to fuel crisis in Nigeria.
In Abuja, LM Chukwamika reports.
Lovely place, right?
Yes.
What's wrong? You don't look happy.
Take a look around. Why can't my hotel be like this?
I knew something was wrong, but I've got solution.
Solution? What?
Nanet.
Nanet?
Nanet offers you design solutions, building plans and construction, furnishing and equipping, financing, management, audit services, and many more services for a better hospitality business. Nanet, service with a smile.
Pattern of leadership of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) has been handed over to the Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Musa Usman Abubakar. ICPC, in a statement issued by its spokesperson, Mrs. Rashidat Okodwa, said a brief ceremony was witnessed by the heads of department and other senior management staffs, at which former acting chairman Bako Abdullahi handed over to the Secretary following the expiration of his tenure. Abdullahi, at the handing over ceremony, advised ICPC staff intensify efforts in eradicating corruption, as well as not to allow the Transparency International rating to discourage their fight against corruption. It would be recalled that a new chairman and members nominated by President Muhammad Buhari were awaiting confirmation by the Senate, as stipulated in the Corruption Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000. Ahead of 2019 general election, a Nigerian-based businessman, Engineer Gabriel Adeomi, has advised youth in the country to avoid all forms of electoral violence. Engineer Gabriel, who gave the advice in Abuja at an event where he received an Icon of Humanitarian Service award by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, advised the youth against being used by politicians to engage in electoral vices, adding that it could jeopardize their future and that of the country.
Any youth that join politics is not do or die affairs. We want peace for our country. We don't want thugs or any tout to overtake our government or this and that. So we want a responsible people. Even when Gowon took over the affairs of the country, Gowon was just 31. So we have been having youth for long. And the only advice I can give to youth is to be patient for their time.
He also called on all to encourage and pray for leaders at all levels and also give them maximum support to achieve their mandate.
We need to support them with prayer so that they can do more. Nobody is complete. Even God said that He created us and He regrets that He created us as a human being. So any mistakes, any government can make mistake and they will correct it. So nobody is perfect. We have to pray for our leader to lead us well.
In Abuja, LM Chukwamika reports.